Hi, it feels like it's been a while since I've seen everybody. And here we are with our next episode of Opening Doors with Annette. I am super excited to have a special guest with us today. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning. I am Lindsey Rossow-Rood. I am the Associate Vice President of Donor Services at the Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan.
Okay, it's like this huge drop of the mic because that title is so big, so huge. And I am just so proud of you. Like what you do and how you are impacting our community is probably, you are one of the people that I absolutely admire, because when I think of philanthropy, I think of giving heart, I think of helping people at this larger level. It's that role that does that. And you are just shining like the bright shining star that I know that you are.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Annette.
Yeah, so thanks for being here. Obviously, we know each other because of the nonprofit CARES in the Campus of Hope.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about how you got into the industry of foundational work.
So for myself, my journey actually started as a social worker. So I have my BSW and my MSW from Wayne State University in Detroit. And I started working in area nonprofits. And one of the things that I realized very quickly is that to make all of the excellent programs run, you need money. And it sounds like such a simple thing. But one of my first experiences with my first job after college was also my shortest job, where I was employed for about a month. And then we learned that a grant that we were expecting was not going to come through. And so the program that I was running was going to shut down.
Wow, what a story. Because there's so much emotion around that, because you have a vision of impacting people in this program, and now you don't have the money and the expectations of these individuals.
Yes, absolutely.
So share with us, like, what happened?
So that was, as I said, I was in my early 20s and was told the program was shutting down and that I needed to help to make sure that those we were serving found another home with another nonprofit. And so I had the next 4 weeks to be able to do that to the best of my ability, but not all of the services that we were offering were offered as comprehensively at other organizations. So we were looking to refer and connect people to multiple organizations. And then the program shut down and I was back on the job market. And that was such a defining moment for me in my career, and thinking about, I need to figure out how to do better to make sure that the communities that I care about have the resources that they need. And that began my journey in fundraising. And so I've really been in fundraising and working with donors, families, corporations for just over 25 years.
That's amazing. And I know it was so natural for me to pick up the phone and reach out to you when we were looking at partnering, because I had so much experience in my previous younger years of the community foundations. And I think that as CARES continues to be growing, a lot of other nonprofits come to us and say, okay, this is working successfully. This is what we do. And so, helping other nonprofits kind of, find the path to the community foundation is really critical. And that's why I wanted to have you on the show today. And because I think it's important for people to get the education around it, because you're absolutely correct. That pivoting point in your career is still a problem. We're seeing nonprofits, we're seeing funding decrease, or if it's government funded, we're seeing funds pulled back because of budget cuts or for whatever reasons. And that's where we as a community have to rise up to be able to make sure that these great systems and support mechanisms for what I consider our most vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And when we say the most vulnerable, we're talking about ourselves. And that's kind of that movement that I was sharing with you a little bit before, kind of like behind the scenes that we have here at the show, is that we want people to be able to ask for help and allow asking for help to be okay. So you may need food today, but you may need to figure out how you get insurance, or you may need to have some mental health support, or you may need to have resources, for a family member that's aging. And being able to know where to go is really critical. And all of that costs money.
It does. It does. And in order to get the word out for those who both need support and those who are looking to help those who are in need. And so I think that's really where my role at the Community Foundation comes in, is helping to connect people who are passionate and want to do good in our community and want to see that positive impact with the organizations on the ground doing the good work.
Yeah, and it's amazing that your community foundation is such a resource for people, and just to get them to be able to raise their hand first, because I think sometimes there's a fear of asking for money, or a fear of asking for help, because it doesn't always feel right. Well, you got to remember that you have to ask first, right? And you got to know where to ask. And sometimes it is a no. Because I remember when we first started, talking, because becoming a partner within the Community Foundation as a nonprofit, of course, I'm all gangbusters. My personality does not slow down on anything that I have passion for. And you're like, Annette, we have to look at your mission and vision and see where it aligns with other opportunities for potential grants in the future. And so we just got awarded, after we were just talking about this, 2 years of getting ourselves to the level of being able to find the correct alignment with what we're trying to do, and what the funding wants to be able to support.
Yes.
And do you see that a lot with partners?
So we do see that a lot with partners, and part of it is that at the Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan, but at other community foundations across Michigan and across the country, the thing that is unique about community foundations is that we are a collection of funds. So we manage more than 1,500 funds, and each of those funds has a very specific purpose that was set up by a donor or an organization, municipality. And so we manage and steward and invest those funds. And then we have to make sure that we find the best fit to fit the intent of that fund. And so at the Community Foundation, so as to help our nonprofit community and our partners coming to us that are seeking grants, we have tried in the last 2 years to make it a little more clear. And so we do now have 5 distinct focus areas. We have youth and education, we have economic opportunity, we have public spaces and the environment, arts and culture, and then the area that helped to support the recent grant for CARES is health equity. And with CARES really aligning so well with that pillar of ours. And so we were thrilled that this year that the grant came to CARES.
Yay,
So
and thank you
was
so
wonderful.
much. Because like I said, it's definitely helping us move forward and helping the individuals that need the services. And it's interesting is I just got impacted once again by the Community Foundation and didn't even realize it. So my daughter won an award for her poetry. And so there was this reception down. She's already nodding because you know exactly where I'm going with this. And so, of course, I'm so curious about, like, it was down in Detroit. It was a great reception. And then they talked about the Detroit's Arts Council. And we were, of course, I'm very curious. How are you formed? 501c3 nonprofit, or is this an extension of another corporation? And they're like, no, this is a 501c3. We received a grant. I was like, you received a grant? And the story proceeds to go on to find out that one of the largest grant funding that you have and you manage funded this reception that literally showcased amazing young talent in Southeast Michigan. And I sat there and got goose pimples because there was like 35 kids that got up in front of the mic and presented their poetry, their graphic arts, like ceramic works with different types of materials. And it was just so overwhelming of emotion from seeing not only them become better presenters and the passion that they had, that would never have happened without the Community Foundation.
Well, thank you. And though really it would never have happened without the generous donors and families for over the last 40 years that have been contributing and really establishing funds, endowed funds at the Community Foundation to allow us to do the type of grant making and the work that we do. So we are very, very lucky to live in a community that is made up of such generous, generous individuals.
That's amazing. And, being able to kind of pool all of those giving hearts in one location and be able to give them the, the vehicle to get what they want to accomplish, partner them with the people that are aligned with their mission and vision, and just have it unfold right in front of your eyes. And I go back to our school systems, right? And the education systems where it's getting harder and harder to provide these extra services. This type of a recognition, this type of reception that was honoring this young talent across Southeast Michigan came together not because of the school systems, but because of the community and the belief in the community and the belief in this young talent. And that right there was the aha moment. I mean, I knew I was in the right place, the Community Foundation, but it was because it was about CARES. But then all of a sudden, you guys impacted my family. And I was like, wait a second here. This is really what the Community Foundation is. So thank you for that.
Well, and thank you. And we, as I said, we are very, very fortunate to be the stewards of dollars that people entrust to us to do the kind of great work that takes place here in the 7-county region we serve. And so each year, the Community Foundation grants out somewhere around $120 million into the community.
That's a big number.
It is a big number. And so doing great work just across the region. So
nice.
I'm so happy and so thrilled to hear that you had an opportunity to see another side of our work.
Which was incredible. So if there is a nonprofit out there or somebody that's looking at possibly trying to align with grant opportunities, what's their first step?
So I would say their first step is to contact us. And I will say, the easiest thing to do is to send an email, donorservices@cfsem.org. So Community Foundation Southeast Michigan, donorservices@cfsem.org.
And we'll have a little link in the bio, so that way,
perfect.
they can just click on it.
They can click on that. And to go ahead and send us an email. And once we see what it is that the nonprofit or the individual, the family, the company is thinking of, we reach back out and we will set up a time for a call, a Zoom, an in-person lunch or coffee, whatever works the best, and really talk to that person or the people who are interested in making an impact and to figure out how we might be able to help.
So I'm not I'm afraid of reaching out for help, obviously. It's funny when I say the obvious to someone that knows me, it always feels a little awkward, but they don't always know that. However, not everybody is as outgoing as I am, right? And they're going to think of all of the objections of why not to reach out to you, right? So let's go through the list. They're probably going to think, I can't reach out because I don't have a business plan. I can't reach out because I don't have the structure. I'm not set up the way I think I should be set up. Is there anything that we can say to those individuals that takes away those objections is, please reach out to us and have these basic structures in place?
Yes. And what I would say is we have people reach out to us with all sorts of different thoughts, ideas, areas that they want to see impact, things that they want to see continue on, like parks and libraries in their communities, or things that they want to see change, like CARES with food insecurities. And so we say to folks, reach out to us. We're here to be a resource for you. And even if it's the Community Foundation is not maybe the best fit or the home for either your gifts, charitable dollars, or for the types of grants, if you're a nonprofit that you're seeking, we hope to be a resource and a partner in the community. And we will make sure that we connect you to the appropriate resource or partner in the community, because that's the other thing about the Community Foundation is, yes, it is helping individuals who want to make gifts and grants and do good in the community. It's the grant making that is then done, but it's also our work about bringing like-minded people to the same tables to have those conversations and make sure that the good work that people want to see happen really is achieved. So I would say, regardless of where people are, whether you're a nonprofit and you're getting started and you're just sort of curious about seeking grants or thinking about endowment like CARES, or if you're an individual donor and you say, well, even if you don't have an attorney that you're working with, on a gift, or you say, there are so many ways that people can give and make an impact. And we try our very best to meet people where they're at. So I would say, please, please, yes, do not hesitate. Reach out. You will hear back from someone, and we'll make sure to help you along on your journey the best we can.
So you removed every obstacle that you need to be able to reach out to them to find out what your next step is. And I
Yes.
love that. So here at CARES, once again, we are super excited to be aligned with you. Our endowment fund continues to grow. Obviously, endowment is very important for us because that money is invested and then we see the return and it supports us financially. And being good stewards of donations is absolutely important as well. So understanding too, this is what we need to do today with our nonprofit and our mission and vision, but where are we going to be at in 3 years and 5 years and 10 years? And that's what's really, well, what I believe the alignment that we have with the Community Foundation. I thank you for that opportunity.
Well, thank you for trusting us and partnering with us. So we are thrilled that CARES is one of our nonprofit endowment partners. And I will say we partner with more than 260 nonprofits in the region to make sure that we are a home for endowments and to help those nonprofits think about how do you grow and fundraise for those endowments, and that the nonprofits and the boards know that the Community Foundation is a trusted partner to invest those funds.
And then you even pour back into us with more education and seminars. And so once again, just all great abilities for, normally people that may not have the experience of understanding this, but yet have the mission and vision to have a service to support our community. So we have a tradition here at the podcast. If you had the opportunity to run across a younger version of yourself, what is a great piece of advice that you would give her?
So I actually think it goes back to the very beginning of our conversation. And it along the lines of asking for help, but really seeking out mentors. And I have had some really, really incredible mentors, but I think early in my career, it was people coming to me and tapping me on the shoulder that saw something in me. And I would say, I think for myself, I maybe wasn't brave enough in my 20s to say, Annette, I see you're doing really wonderful, great things. I would like to do the type of work you're doing. Would you mind sitting down with me and just having a coffee or a phone call? And I think in my earlier years, I don't think that I was not quite there to do that. So was very fortunate to have some people recognize some of my talents and my strengths and reach out to me and really became wonderful mentors. But I would say if I had to go back, I would tell myself, it's okay, reach out. People love to provide thoughts, advice, help. And so I tried to do that even with my own daughter today. I talk to her so much. I say, just get out there, network. You never know what a conversation might lead to. And so I think that would be the advice I would have given to my younger self.
I love that. And, we as leaders in our organizations and in our communities, it's important for people to know to reach out to us, right? If you have a question, if you feel like you're aligned or you're thinking about getting into a profession, first do your due diligence. Find out that person in that position. And so I love that you had mentioned that because that's great advice.
Thank you.
Well, once again, thank you so much for being on our podcast. Thank you for being who you are as a human being. And thank you for everything that you do to support our community.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Annette. And I appreciate that you invited me here today. And we love partnering with CARES and look forward to our relationship in the future.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That is another incredible wealth of knowledge that we just really, I don't even know the words, gave to you as a gift. So please, In the bio, you can click on and get additional information how to connect with her individually as well as her team. And until next time, always stay tuned, opening doors with Annette.